Chapter 11, 51 of One Piece has shattered everything we thought we knew. Gaban is back. Imu's Supreme King Haki has returned, and the Sunworld? It's no longer a myth. It's real, it's dangerous, and it may be the origin of everything. This isn't just a hype chapter, it's the beginning of the final war. If you thought Luffy, Nika, and Joy Boy were the only keys to the ancient truth, I hate to break it to you. You've only seen half the picture. So sit tight, grab your strongest Haki-infused snack, because we're diving deep into what really happened in Chapter 1151, and what Oda might unleash in Chapter 1152. Oh, and yes, Part 2 of the Shrion exclusive One Piece lore series drops this week. Don't blink. You'll miss destiny unfolding. And hey, smash that like, subscribe, and drop a comment saying Return of the Sunworld to join the lore revolution. Now, let's talk about the monster, literally. Killingham's hybrid form has arrived, and it's unlike anything we've ever seen. Imagine a centaur fused with a Kilin, a mythical beast, floating with divine white clouds around his head and body, like something out of Chinese celestial mythology. But there's nothing divine about him. Killingham's cruelty is cold, calculated. He declares that the monsters attacking Elbaph were created by the people themselves. I'm not pulling punches anymore. The Great One is here. The Great One? That's not just Flare. That's Imu, or maybe Gunko. And when he says created by you, he's not just blaming the people of Elbaph. He's accusing them of sin, of history, of building these very monsters with their own hands or rituals. His horn, used to command these beasts, is straight out of Norse myth. This isn't a random assault. It's Judgment Day, a ritual purge to test the people through fire and blood. Then it happens. A flashback begins. We see Chopper. We see Gaban, falling from the Sunworld into the Underworld. The Sunworld until now has been a legend, but this moment, this fall, confirms it. It exists. And who fell? Not just Chopper. Gaban? Yes, the same Gaban. The man we barely knew, the one we only saw beside Roger. But now, he's falling from the heavens like a fallen archangel. He's battered, bruised, but alive. And what does Chopper do? He uses his massive guard point to save him. Then Gaban lifts two trembling fingers and mutters the words that shatter the fandom. I was number 2. Let that sink in. Rayleigh was number 1? Or Gaban? Who really stood beside the Pirate King? Even Hadruddin, Elbaph's mighty warrior, confirms it. Gaban was one of Roger's wings. And Luffy, he doesn't even question it. He just beams and says, that means he knows Shanks too. That's it. That one line confirms everything. Rayleigh trained Luffy. Gaban likely trained Shanks. This isn't just a reunion. It's the grand reconnection of fate. And just when the emotions settle, Chopper explains the truth. Why Gaban didn't fight back. Because children were taken hostage. They were outnumbered not in strength, but in conscience. Even Gaban, with all his power, held back. Because to fight meant risking innocent lives. That's peak Oda, showing us that strength isn't measured by how hard you hit, but when you choose not to. But suddenly, a presence. A pressure. It strikes, harder than thunder, colder than fear. Everyone freezes. Luffy, Zoro, Gaban, even the air seems to kneel. It's the same force from Chapter 1150. Imu's Supreme King Haki, not regular Conqueror's Haki. Not something you train, this is something more. Gaban gasps, this Haki, now! He's felt it before, somewhere deep in time. From Joy Boy? From Rocksteady Zebek? From the shadows of the Void Century? Even Zoro falters. Elbaph's healers can barely breathe. And in the middle of this chaos, Loki laughs. Yes, laughs. Because he understands something they don't. He grins and says, you don't get it yet, you need my power. Right then, Hadruddin yells, everyone get on the lift. We're going back to the Sunworld. Elbaph is in danger. Boom. We now know Elbaph was never the real battlefield. It was just the entrance to something greater. Let's talk lore. The Sunworld isn't heaven. It's the celestial realm where Joy Boy may have come from. The place of origin, of light, of purpose. And now, it's broken. Gaban, Chopper, even the monsters, they all fell from it. It mirrors the fall from paradise, a biblical collapse. Imu's Supreme Haki? It's not just willpower. It may be the power to manipulate dimensions, to pull things from one realm to another, to rewrite reality itself. Which brings us to the biggest theory drop. You know, the so-called 3 great powers. The warlords, the marines, the Yonko? Yeah, those were distractions. The real 3 powers are the Sunworld, the Underworld, and the Void Century's memory. The Sunworld governs life and light. The Underworld? Monsters, souls, regrets. And the memory, that's where Emu rules. By corrupting the past, Emu reshapes the present. Let's come back to Gaban. He isn't just strong. He's essential to the climax. Rayleigh taught survival. Gaban teaches history. The fall of Joy Boy. The betrayal of the celestial realm. Truth behind Emu. His line, I was number 2 in about ego. It's a warning. He was second not just in strength, but in truth. And even on death's edge, he senses Emu's presence. Gaban must live, because he's the map to the final war. Now let's talk predictions. Prediction 1. We'll see the origin of the Sunworld via Gaban's memory or Luffy's awakening. Floating continents, golden skies, celestial beings. Prediction 2. Zoro and Sanji will face corrupted versions of themselves, guardians of the Sunworld, wielding ancient proto-versions of Enma and Diable Jambe. Prediction 3. Emu will partially manifest. A celestial beast, maybe a sky serpent or dragon, will tear through Elbaph skies. Prediction 4. Loki will blow the forbidden horn of Elbaph, awakening a sealed sun giant or invoking the lost tree of knowledge. Prediction 5. Robin will awaken the sun poneglyph, glowing only when Emu's haki pulses. This will be the key to Laugh Tale. Let's wrap this up. Chapter 1151 changed everything. Gaban's return, the confirmation of the Sunworld, Emu's overwhelming power. And the moment that defined the chapter, Luffy looks at Chopper and says, I get it now! That's not just understanding. That's awakening. The boy who inherited Roger's will is becoming the man who will unite all realms. Heaven, hell, and the world of men. This final war isn't about islands anymore. It's about reality itself. Subscribe right now if you're ready for the next chapter in One Piece's Final Saga. And stay tuned, because Part 2 of Shrion's exclusive lore series drops this week. We're diving into the true nature of the Sunworld, the real origin of Gaban, and the war Emu's been trying to stop for centuries. Drop a comment. Sunworld Reawakens, if you're ready for truth to burn brighter than ever.